there is justice in human rights. Throughout his time in Nuremberg, David was MP for the West Derby Constituency in Liverpool, and he had honed his skills as a barrister on the Northern Circuit in that city, with chambers on Lord Street. Sylvia was a child of Liverpool, and while David was in Nuremberg, she took on his responsibilities of constituency MP. It is this bond that led us to first perform on Holocaust Memorial Day in the museums of Liverpool. This is a very important time of year. On 27th of January 1945, the Russian army reached the Auschwitz concentration camp and liberated the remaining prisoners. Over the past 10 years, we've been honoured to play a small part in these memorials. We've been drawn in because of the story we tell. At Nuremberg, he was one of the first to forensically study the evidence of Holocaust, including the Russian film showing the liberation of Auschwitz and capturing the evidence of the barbaric atrocities of the Nazis. So what does tyranny look like?
Tyranny has been a feature of life throughout the ages, from King John and the barons who enshrined natural law in Magna Carta, to later years in the Nazi regime in Germany. Tyranny seeks to undermine the freedom of all people and restrict their way of life. When Sylvia visited Nuremberg and returned, she wrote to her husband David, "It seems most necessary to get some anti-Nazi propaganda about. Everyone seems to have forgotten, and coming fresh from its surroundings as I have done, I cannot believe people can forget so fast. We must never look the other way again." In the spirit of Sylvia, we must never look the other way again when it comes to remembering the lessons of the past and how they affect the way we live our lives today.
It is just as well that in respect of the Nazi war crimes, the apologists of the future will be confronted by the admissions of the many found guilty and the mass of incriminating documents produced at the trials.
Dawn was theirs, and the sunset, and the colors of the earth. They had seen much of music, till on earth lost its worth. No slumber and waking, love had gone befriended. Santa Claus, all this is ended.
Except that now we are turning to look the other way again. So why the ECHR?
It is a question often asked by politicians today. Why do we need a convention to tell us about the idea of our human rights? The Human Rights Act and anything that has followed the Good Friday Agreement have all come from this idea of a convention, bringing together many countries inside of the Council of Europe. David Maxwell Fyfe believed that the law is a living thing, that it needs to change with society. And one of the things that has often happened throughout history is that laws do change and they need to be changed. But it needed to be a seed and it needed to be grown. Otherwise, nothing can grow and nothing can change. So that's why we need to continue to have something like the ECHR for it to grow and to change.
There were waters flow, stormy waters, blown by changing winds to laughter, and lit by the rich skies of
On Holocaust Memorial Day, the dehumanising of those in terror must end, and we must turn again to democracy and the rule of law.